What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon Kindle to Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. This video is entitled The Black Agenda War. Salute to J Miller Podcast. Farewell, bro. Much respect. You a stand-up dude. I'm gonna miss your videos. I'm gonna miss your presence. I'm just gonna be keeping 100 with that. Getting to the topic. We have different agendas in our community. And it seems that our agendas are at war with each other. And I think the problem with that is because people are recruiting for their agenda, and at the same time, they're not. I don't think everybody's completely committed to their agenda, or they don't see the fallacy or flaw in it to be fixed. So I'm gonna just throw out some things what I mean. Now, you have our political agenda. So we have a liberal agenda, a democratic agenda, a Republican agenda, a conservative agenda, and they're all at war with each other. In a sense, get off of the Democratic plantation. Conservatism or Republicans are racist. You're being an Uncle Tom, and this has been for years, right? This has been going on for a long time. And the thing about that is, you're recruiting for both sides, but you can't. Both sides can't accept a win. Like if you win, it should be a win for us collectively. And that's the problem with these agendas. If one side wins, we act like it can't be taken as a win for the collective politically. We have a business agenda, and we have a sense of our business agenda versus our community agenda. And what I mean by that is we want to be community minded and want to talk about unity, but our businesses, we don't support our businesses that will employ us to be able to afford to be a community and be unified. So all this community uprising and community activism and support the community, well, you have to, if you want that support, you need to support the businesses so they can have the money to support the activism. You can't keep fighting, want to fight white supremacy in the government and keep asking for government funding. But and you know this already, so you should support your businesses, and your businesses will support your cause. Same thing with supporting, if people want to run in politics or for any kind of office. We got an issue with that because the agendas are at odds. We have a matriarchy versus patriarchy, a patriarchy versus matriarchy. However, people need to hear it to be comfortable, right? We got guys who feel like we should lead the community, but at the same time, there's infighting and undercutting of the guys who can probably create the most change. Because the guys who want to be the patriarchs of our society, in a sense, you got the builders, the maintainers, the protectors and providers versus pretty much the playboys. And that's who undermines everything. So we can't get ahead because we got guys sabotaging us building and building communities and having strong families, because the people who want to be on top just want to have the most women, so they're willing to try to break up your business by chasing women or influencing women or an all-out sexual assault on the women. Not rape, but I mean that's they use sex as their weapon, just like the women do. So they try to undermine the builders through sexing the women, so the guys have nothing to build for. Now, on the flip side, you got the matriarchy, who's at war with it because, oh, y'all don't know what y'all doing, but we can't trust y'all. But the problem with that is, you know, you ladies don't get along either. Y'all throw each other under the bus for everything too. And ultimately, just like in just in American society, you want it to be matriarchal, but you don't want to. You're not going to be the protectors of the you can't protect in the matriarchy. You can't provide in the matriarchy. So you want to employ. You want to supervise the men building, providing and protecting, but then want to say you running it, and while you're dismantling patriarchy, but you're taking no responsibilities of a patriarch or the matriarch is, which in a sense, basically I'm saying the rulers of the community, right? So you want to run a community that you can't build, you can't maintain, you can't protect, you can't provide for because you're a woman. And you're not going to do it. Like, you're not going to put in that kind of work. So you're undermining patriarchy for chaos. And partially y'all play into it because what you guys are doing, or you ladies are doing, is y'all catering to guys who are your best sexual objects. So y'all can have babies with them, and maybe y'all can run the babies and then create this matriarchy under guys that you feel like you can control, but that ain't gonna happen because when boys become men, you're not gonna be able to control them. Now, you also have, you know, the white supremacy versus, I would say, black liberation agenda. Whereas you want to fight against white supremacy, and you want to be, and at the same time, you want to be liberated. For the people who fight against white supremacy, would you fight against racism? I understand it. I get it. White supremacy exists. Racism exists. Prejudice and all that. I made videos that say that are clickbait about racism before, but if you listen to them, you'll see what I'm saying. But you can't keep. But you don't recognize white supremacy is dying. And for you people who want to fight white supremacy, you don't recognize it's dying because white supremacy is broke. They have no more money. And they can't afford to go to war with people because they can't afford the war. We all know they can't do anything hand to hand. We know that to be true. But at the same time, we don't talk about, with white supremacy, we don't talk about black defense. We don't talk about us having to defend ourselves. So how are we going to fight against white supremacy, but we never talk about how to defend ourselves? Because at some point, we're going to have to probably bring guns into play. It is what it is. Same thing versus the black liberation. We're just going to pick up, go, and start all over again. And the problem is we're not welcome everywhere en masse like that. Picking up and running to places without, when we haven't created business and trade here recently in a good, not necessarily in a mass level, but in a good enough level that we could just pick up and do it somewhere else. That's a problem because we're not building at the moment. So to say we're gonna go somewhere else as a mass group and build, I think that's a fallacy. Because, you know, we kind of shun the guys in our communities who can build, protect, provide, maintain. And just because you go to another place full of black people, doesn't mean you're welcome there. And it doesn't mean that as two groups of people who don't know how to build up a country. So it's going to be more tribalism, pretty much. And and we're not talking about the decompression thing, because we're gonna need, even if we're away from white people, we're gonna have to mentally get used to that too. Some people, because we're gonna see who the real sellouts and Sambos and coons really are. Because some people are gonna, they're gonna really want, they still gonna be in Stockholm syndrome, and they're gonna cause a bunch of problems because of that. And the agenda is mental health and physical health. Like, we don't talk about, like, we don't need mental health help. We don't talk about that enough. And we don't talk about us needing to change our diets and exercise enough, and eat a diet that's conducive to our ethnicity. And sometimes those things clash, because we act as though what you put in your body doesn't affect your mind state and how you think. And we act like you can be sharp mentally but gluttonous physically. That's not a reality. So we separate the two, and we're fighting. You could be smart and obese, but and you could be dumb and in shape, and it's like, yeah, it's very easy to have the best of both worlds. Eat right, exercise, read books, and learn. It's that simple. So I think we have all these agenda wars that are going on simultaneously, and ultimately, I should have said this in the beginning, we may not have a one cohesive agenda as a community to go on in the first place. Because we can have all these agenda wars, but if we can all agree to one particular agenda, we can just do it differently. And people don't want to do it differently. People, if you think your agenda works so well, go for it. Another agenda is monogamy versus polygamy. You shouldn't be with one person. It's not natural. You should be with one person and raise families. I should say that's the thing. If you can't do that, then why would you ask for multiple families? Then, well, it's my God-given right, and I should have multiple families. But people like, okay, like I said before, most people can't afford polygamy. It's my opinion. So, and does this help our community as a whole? I don't think so. But we say we gotta. But that's the war. Like, we say to build the communities, we gotta build bigger families. So, are we building productive monogamous families, or are we building productive polygamous families? So all of these things are at odds. So now I'm out. Peace.